Welcome everyone to the third OCBL Patton hosted by BridgeChamp. We got a bunch of strong teams once again fighting for the first place trophy. We have NetBridge, quite a strong team that has performed quite well in the OCBL or alt team events. Harris, a bunch of players from the UK. I think generally we have new amateurs, a lot of American players playing in the event, apparently including one of my regular partners. So that could be a fun match to watch if they do end up performing quite well. I think they finished fourth the last time that they played in this event. We have Adora, has a bunch of players on it. BridgeChamp, the site's home team. DeFranco on the team. Looks like Augustin Medalla might be playing. Strong Italian partnerships all around there. We have Beachy. Looks like a couple of other American players. I'm familiar with Alex Kolesnik. We have Balzac. Not sure who some of these players are, but everyone who signs up, and finally we have Zyra, everyone who signs up for these OCBL team events is generally a strong expert player. There are a couple of sponsors mixed in on many of these teams as well. But the great thing is that we get some fast-paced action for this event. I'm excited. I hope everyone else is excited as well. And we got about 12 minutes to go until the teams get underway with their first board. Now, the last time we watched one of these events, about a month and a half ago, it was really important for a lot of the teams to realize how fast they needed to play, because I don't know how many of them ended up getting penalized, but a lot of them were running up against that round clock and got boards taken away or tricks taken away from them because they just weren't able to finish on time. So this really is a speedball event. Really fast-paced action, as mentioned already, and I'm excited to see what the teams can produce. Should be some high-level bridge, should be some exciting auctions. The Patton form of scoring, for those who aren't familiar, is of course going to be based on a combination of imps and border match scoring. So very important to get to your game contracts, because then you can earn quite a few imps if you do make it. Very important to double the opponents for penalty if you think you're beating their contract, because then that might earn you a border match swing. So lots of very relevant decisions at every point in the auction, every point in the play. You're going to be fighting for all of these over tricks to try and earn that border match win on every board. So we'll see what the players can produce. Still got about 10 minutes until the matchup starts. And of course we'll be broadcasting with about a 15-minute delay, but I will be observing the chat on YouTube to see if there are any interesting or relevant questions about some of the hands or some of the tournament formats. I will try and answer that for you. And if it's very relevant, I think that some of the site staff will also be available in the chat to answer some of your concerns in a real-time basis. So go ahead and feel free to ask questions, make comments, cheer for your favorite teams. All of that is very much welcome. Just under 10 minutes to go, and this should be a lot of fun. I've always had a lot of fun casting the events here hosted on BridgeChamp, because the speed of play is one of the things that I think makes a lot of people very unhappy about watching bridge tournaments, especially if they're kind of newer to the game. But here, because it's basically like a speedball event, we're going to have cards flying all over the place, people just bidding up to 4 of a major on basically every hand, or 3 no trump and trying to make it. And lots of imps swung back and forth, as well as Lots of overtricks getting swung here and there for the border match form of scoring. So there will be 7 rounds in this event. That might be due to the number of teams. It looks like there are 8 teams available, so we're going to be playing some sort of round-robin format amongst all the teams. I see I'm getting some chat messages behind my camera. Maybe we'll find a way to silence some of those in the future. But hopefully that's not too distracting. So I think we're waiting on a couple of the teams to still get in here. Some of these yellow exclamation points are going to be based on waiting for players to join the lobby. And we might even be able to start up early if everyone gets here, but we are just about ready to get started. So, I'm your host today. I'm BradyBot. For those who don't know me, I'm a bridge YouTuber, do a lot of commentary for big events, and this is one that I'm always very excited to come join because of the pace of play. You know, as opposed to a lot of the other big matchups, like the Spin Gold or the Bermuda Bowl or European Championships, where players might be sitting there and thinking for 15 minutes about one small decision, and it takes several hours to get through 15 boards. Here, we have these round clocks of 6 minutes a board. So there's going to be, I think, 4 board rounds, although I'm not entirely sure about that, which means we'll be able to get through 28 boards in probably just under 3 hours. Really looking forward to it. I know the BridgeChamp team is always one of the favorites for this event. Obviously, they have some of the best players in the world, from the most recent silver medalist in the Bermuda Bowl, or not Bermuda Bowl, the last year's World Championships with DeFranco and Mano. If both of them are playing, I'm not sure if both of them are here today. But a lot of other very, very strong players throughout the event. So we'll see how things shake out. Just over 5 minutes to go. You see the countdown timer. Hopefully we'll get started up right on time. So as mentioned, there's going to be a little bit of a delay on the stream, and that just means that it's going to be a little bit more difficult to interact in real time for a lot of the questions or commentary. Unfortunately, we just have to do this because it is a prestigious event, and we don't want any sort of cheating or collusion of any kind. So people are going to be... we're going to make sure that people can't tune in and watch the stream and find out what their opponents have on a side monitor, for example. Most of the players will have their webcams on and might be talking at the table. I will, of course, have most of that muted unless there's a relevant reason for me to turn on the volume of one of the players so that we can listen in on the conversation. Kind of a nice little feature that BridgeChamp has on their website as well, so that even if you're playing a casual game, you could just turn on your webcam and chat with your opponents. The way it does work is it tends to be set up as if you're playing behind screens. So the screen will be down, cutting off south and west from north and east during the auction. And then during the play, the screen will open up so that all 4 players at the table can in theory, talk to each other if they want to. About 4 minutes to go. Just waiting for everyone to continue filtering on in. Still missing a couple of players from each team. It seems, but the teams are filling out, and we should be underway momentarily. I don't think I'm going to have a co-caster today, although that might change midway through. We'll just see how it plays out. But for now, it's just going to be me. We'll be focused on a lot of the bridge and try and cover as many of the teams as possible. I like to get as many of the players on screen as we possibly can to provide some commentary for some of their decision making, talk about a lot of the bridge, and mostly just hang out and have a good time, because that's what this is all about. So 2.5 minutes to go. If you are in the chat and are rooting for one of the teams, let me know which team you're cheering for, whether it's someone from your home country, or whether it's just one of the teams that you're a big fan of some of the players on it. Tried to give a little bit of a rundown earlier about who all the teams are, but we can quickly look back through it. So NetBridge, again, I'm not that sure who all of the players are on these teams. Sometimes the OCBL allows you to have 6, 7, 8-person teams, depending on scheduling, to try and make sure that you can field a team of 4 for every match. So a lot of the players rotate in some of these events. Harris is a team from the UK, usually, although I'm not that familiar with most of the team members. New Amateurs, a team that I've played on a couple of times in the past for the OCBL events, tends to be made up of mostly American players, although there's a couple from other countries as well. Adora, not that familiar with any of these players either, but the BridgeChamp team, a number of Italians on the squad, and it looks like they might have a sponsor as well. Playing Beachy, I do recognize the one name, assuming that this isn't just some stolen username for Alex Kolesnik, a USA expert player. Balzac over here, a number of players, and Zyra as well. Less than a minute to go, and we should be getting started with the play. So I'm excited to get in. Hopefully we'll get to see some exciting deals. I know in the past there have been a number of awesome auctions to some slams and even grand slams that we've seen. Hopefully we'll get to witness some of that today. There have been a number of missed opportunities in some pretty big contracts to take some safety plays that would have guaranteed the contract. But of course you have to weigh that and balance with I was going to say, I was hoping we might be into the event. I never really know how to get into these things. Let me back out for just a second. Go into the OCBL Patton and Okay, okay. We're in. I'm sorry. A little bit of a slow start, but we got in here. Let's take a look at BridgeChamp versus NetBridge. This should be a relatively strong first round matchup. Apologies that we're coming in the middle of the first board. Oh, actually, we're into the second board already. I am so sorry that we have missed a little bit of the play. I guess I needed to find the tables early enough. I was waiting for that countdown timer in the top left, but 3 clubs making 6 on the second board of this in this room. Let's see if the other table is a bit earlier on in the play. They're also in 3 clubs in the West. So taking a look at the hand itself, it looks like DeFranco over here has to make a decision about, 1, how to play the club suit. They got that queen doubleton of clubs split 2-2 in the north, and how to set up his long side suit spades. He does take a spade finesse, which wins. Now he's going to have to try and rough the spade suit good. So he'll rough a spade. He'll probably cash the club ace now to try and pull some trumps and be very happy that that suit splits. And now king of diamonds to pitch a spade, and we just have a cross rough to make 12 tricks. So a push board for them, but it looks like possibly a missed opportunity for East-West. Although maybe not. You know, it needs a 2-2 club split. It needs the spade finesse to come home. It needs a lot of, like, the queen of hearts over there. We're on to the third board, though. So we are playing longer sets. Looks like 3 board sets. I think in the past we've played 2 board sets. Let's see how this auction starts out. South picks up in 12 count and gets to open a diamond. West, probably good enough to overcall heart with the 5 hearts and 4 spades. And North will be able to show the spade suit. So I suppose the question is going to be, are North-South going to find the 5-3 spade fit, and do they want to play there? If they get to 4 spades, we might see what's known as a mandatory false card from East in the diamond suit itself. Declare does have 3 natural trump losers, and depending on how the defense goes, North might end up getting tapped out of spades, but an important decision point is going to be when Declare plays a diamond to the ace. Is East going to play low diamond, or is East going to play the 9? If South had the diamond 10, East really should be playing the 9 on that trick to give Declare a guess as to who might have the jack and whether or not they should finesse East or West for that card. But because here North has the 10 of diamonds, East should retain the 9 of diamonds to possibly give Declare a problem if they don't take an immediate first round deep finesse of the 8 or 7. But back to the auction. So diamond, a heart, a spade by North, 2 hearts by East, unfavorable, decides not to make either a preemptive bid or possibly a mixed raise, depending on what their agreements about that would be. I think I would probably prefer a 3-heart bid if it was weak, if we had that available. Given the singleton spade, you have a little bit of shape, but I understand not wanting to do it when you're vulnerable like this. So 2 spades by South, confirming the spade fit, and North decides to be a little bit aggressive. Tries 4 hearts, a splinter, slam try. South, of course, is going to reject. So North-South do get to 4 spades. And East on lead, I don't really see any reason to do anything other than lead a heart at trick 1. And this might be where the decision for East to not show the 4-card heart support could end up costing a little bit. Declare will play low from dummy at trick 1. And if West sticks in the 10 of hearts, then the heart suit becomes a little bit frozen for the defense. With the queen and 9 of hearts remaining, then East won't be able to continue another heart, finessing that queen 9. So we'll find out if West decides to stick in the 10 here, or if West decides to play a low heart. Low heart would be a pretty valuable play, the way things lie, because East will get in with the singleton king of spades, play another heart through, and then end up forcing Declare to ruff, while West preserves a high heart in hand. So then West will get in with another round of spades and play a third round of hearts, and then Declare gets in a lot of trouble and could go down several tricks. Big decision for West at trick 1. Oh, West gets the choice correct here and plays low. So now Declare is in a lot of trouble. If East continues another heart here, the best Declare could do would be to get out for down 1 by abandoning the trump suit entirely and just playing on diamonds and clubs. But that's not a very realistic line of play for Declare to take, because if spades happen to be 3-2, Declare could just pull a second round of trumps here and hope that the diamond suit runs to make the contract. So now West gets to win this trick, pull one more round of trumps with the spade ace, and then continue the king of hearts. West really wants their partner to throw a heart on this trick to unblock the suit. East has elected to pitch a club instead, though. So the heart suit's blocked, which means that if Declare does end up getting the second round of diamonds roughed, which I think is about to happen, East thinking on this trick. 10 of diamonds gets covered. Probably not the right play to cover the 10 of diamonds, but doesn't end up costing too much with the heart suit already blocked. So yeah, that 2 of hearts gets stranded, unfortunately, for West. And the defense does only defeat this 2 tricks, but still, I mean, quite a nice result for East-West to go plus 100 on this hand when their side didn't really have much at all, in the way of values. So that is the last board for this round. They do finish with 1:30 on the clock. Let's see which other tables are still in play. This table looks like they're just starting up play on the last board. They have to be very fast. I mean, this is what I mentioned earlier, that a lot of these players who are not used to this fast time control and who are used to just like taking their time on these boards, they looks like the tournament director added a little bit of time for the players to catch up, but they might still be running into time trouble. So a club by South gets alerted. It is probably a 2+ club, very popular nowadays throughout the world. People will play transfers over this short club. Heart overcall, double by North showing 4 or 5 spades. Probably. I mean, it's not alerted, so maybe North just decided not to search for a 5-3 fit, which might be the way to go. As we saw at the other table, 4 spades fared very poorly after the heart overcall and the heart lead from East. So 3 no trump would at least offer them a little bit more safety. They have 7 top tricks. If Declare does guess the diamond suit, which I think is pretty unlikely, they might end up with an 8th. And if the defense isn't very careful, Declare's Queen of Hearts could even score. So there are some realistic chances that Declare comes home with a game swing on a board like this. Oh no. Oh no, East is offline. I see what the problem is. Uh-oh. Looks like we have a little bit of a disconnect issue. I'm noticing the offline mode in the top left of their screen. So we'll check back in on that table if they're still playing shortly. Looks like another 4-spade contract that we see in this room. Taking a look back at the bidding. At this table, East did bid 3 hearts. Ooh! Oh no! West... So I'm not exactly sure how the early play went, but it looks like East got in and led a low heart, or actually led a high heart, led the 8 of hearts through. And West decided to hop up with the king, thinking their partner might have underled the ace. Well, this is going to be very costly, because now not only have they been unable to force Declare, but the Queen of Hearts is just a winner, and that'll take care of a potential diamond loser if Declare misguesses the diamonds. 4 spades is going to make. There's really nothing that the defense can do about it. Not at this point. Wow. So big result for North-South here. We'll head out and check in to see if there are any other tables that are still playing. Nope. Looks like the round clock ticked down, and so we're on to the next round. So players have been given 7 minutes aboard, 3 boards in 21 minutes. Let's check in on a different table. We'll watch, you know what? I will watch my old partner. So my old partner is sitting here, West. Played with him a bunch when I was playing professionally many, many years ago. He likes to be very aggressive in terms of opening, bidding, and responding, and might get a little bit too high sometimes, but we'll see how it works out with... I'm not familiar with the East player. I don't know who this is. Hard opening bid. Nice hand from West. North overcalls a spade. Also quite a nice hand. East has a bit of a problem. Normally you would just pass. If it had gone a heart pass, East would have responded to no trump, planning to bid 3 diamonds next to show a pretty weak hand with a long diamond suit. But here, I don't really see any reason to bid. Your partner gets another opportunity. East has spade length, no heart fit. You weren't even really certain that 3 diamonds was going to be a good contract. So East does just pass. And now South, unfavorable, but does hold a singleton, although 3 small hearts is a pretty bad holding. Is South going to risk a jump of some kind, or is South just going to bid 2 spades? We saw at the previous board, a lot of players were kind of split between the decision of making a preemptive jump with a hand like this, or just making a simple raise. Here, I think there's a much stronger argument for bidding 2 spades on the hand, which is that because East hasn't been able to bid, 2 spades might just buy the contract. It doesn't sound as if East has a strong hand of any kind, and therefore 2 spades might just earn you the plus score already. Whereas bidding 3 spades with only 4 high card points and the jack of spades, which is probably a pretty useless card generally, might end up just earning your side a minus score. Now, as it turns out, East-West are making 5 diamonds. It looks like 4 hearts might even be makeable on the east-west cards. So South 3 spade bid, although it is probably going to end up earning them a minus score with 2 hearts, a heart ruff, a diamond, and a club to come for the defense, it might end up saving them a game swing. So I think East might end up just letting this go, and they do. Heart's a good lead. Even though East has a singleton, trust your partner's suit. Lead the doubleton heart. So 2 rounds of hearts. West going ace of hearts, king of hearts, effectively signaling for spades. Signaling for diamonds. I mean, it's a suit preference signal for the highest missing suit, so. West sending a very strong suit preference signal for diamonds. The 10 of hearts back, allowing partner to ruff. So another diamond comes around to the ace. And now West probably just, whoa! Well, that was a pretty interesting. I mean, I guess if East had the queen doubleton of spades, this would be an important play. But if North happened to have 6 spades, then this would have just cost the natural club trick that West has. Well, Heart gets roughed and over-roughed, and now Declare is going to just pull trumps and test the clubs. So 1 more loser. 3 spades does go down a trick, but it might have saved them a game swing. Declare checking for lurkers. I mean, might end up running the entire spade suit to force some discards. Should see a claim shortly. Let's check in on one of the other tables. We'll take a look at BridgeChamp versus Zyra over here. Were we just watching this table? I think so, for the BridgeChamp team. Let's take a look at the BridgeChamp's other team. Getting underway with board 5. So East opens 2 diamonds, 18 to 19 balanced, a relatively popular treatment among a lot of European pairs, although multi and other sorts of opening bids are popular as well. 4 clubs by West. Looks like that is a heart transfer. I wonder what the reason is for them specifically using 4 clubs as opposed to 4 diamonds to show the heart transfer. It allows 1 extra step where East could bid 4 diamonds themselves, and I just don't know what they would use that for. I mean, some popular uses for that bid might be to show a super accept, or potentially that it just says, I don't want to declare. Normally, the 18 to 19 count would want to be the declarer with all the high card points, but sometimes they're just looking at a bunch of aces and they want their partner's hand to get let into. Their partner could have queen doubleton, for example, opposite some of their ace thirds. So diamond opening lead, runs around to the queen and ace, and Declare has a lot of work to do. 1 loser can go on the club king or diamond king, but Declare needs to be careful to avoid losing too many tricks in the black suits, as well as the trump suit itself, which isn't going to pose a problem since South happens to hold king jack third of hearts, but could. Okay, Declare goes after the heart suit. I was wondering if Declare might try a sneaky play of leading a low club, and if South doesn't take their king, then Declare might be able to go up with the Queen of Clubs, then cross to the Ace of Hearts and pitch a club loser on the King of Diamonds. But it's not that unreasonable to just pull trumps. So 2 rounds of hearts come. And South, honestly, a pretty strong play, just exiting a 3rd heart, not wanting to give away the show in either black suit. Okay, this is a nice plan by Declare. Leads a low spade towards the queen. So, of course, Declare could have taken the spade finesse themselves, but that would not have helped. It would have gone queen of spades, king, ace, spade back to the jack, and Declare would still lose the 3rd round of spades. So it's much more effective to just give up a spade trick, hoping that North has the king, because then all of the clubs might have gone away. If North had the spade king, spade to the queen winning, King of Diamonds pitch a club, spade to the ace, spade back towards the jack, you would set up another club discard on the jack of spades. All right, another diamond goes around to the 10 and king, Declare pitches a club. Cashes the club ace, good play. So East is playing this hand well to effectively play for a black suit squeeze against an opponent. Now Declare is going to run the hearts, pitching 2 clubs and a diamond from the East hand. And if North happened to have the club king, they would get squeezed. But North holding just the jack of clubs is going to be able to pitch that 8 of diamonds on the next heart. And South is going to be able to throw the 7 of diamonds, holding on to that precious king of clubs. So well played by Declare. Ends up making 10 tricks. And the trump suit was important because Declare was going to need to knock out a number of stoppers, and the defense was going to be able to play diamonds to set up tricks their way, given that they had all of the queen, jack, 10, and 9 in that suit. So ultimately, a nice result for East-West, and I don't think no trump is going to take the same number of tricks. Let's check in on one of the other teams, see how they are doing. We're on to board 6, just getting started with this matchup of Harris against Adora. 2 passes go around to West, who opens a heart in 3rd seat. I think a lot of players would be tempted by a no trump, depending on your no trump range there, just given that you're in 3rd seat and it would be preemptive. But of course, I understand the draw to opening a heart with 5-4 in the majors. So heart past 2 hearts, passes around to North. No reason to balance. Yeah, this 3 diamond bid is lunacy. I know that there are some players who really strongly like to prevent the opponents from playing 2 of a major, so they like, oof. Yeah, West decides to balance back in with 3 hearts. I feel like there's a kind of a split between the older school and newer school way of thinking about some of these auctions that that a lot of players think that if you have extra values, it's probably better to just compete for an offensive contract. But in reality, going after the opponents when you have extra values tends to produce some pretty good results, although sometimes you give up minus 470 or 670, depending on the vulnerability here. But we'll see how Declare handles the play in 3 hearts. They have no spade losers. They are going to lose 2 trumps with the Queen of Hearts offside. They have a diamond to lose and a club to lose. Oh, Declare just leads a heart. So Declare not interested in roughing their spade in the dummy is interesting, because now North can just return another heart here. And That'll pull dummies trump, as well as prevent the fourth round of spades getting roughed. It looks like it might not matter because, whoa, okay. Well, that does end up costing. I didn't think that was about to happen. Oh, declare tries to rough the spade anyway. I was going to say because North can over-rough the dummy with that 7 of hearts, maybe it's not that important to pull dummies trump. Although it does make for a safe exit, right? That's one of the things that North must have been worried about, was how to safely exit from hand, and North's king of clubs exit ends up costing a trick. So the 3-heart competitive bid is going to work out just fine. Trumps are pulled, and declare can just knock out the diamond ace to make 3 hearts. These mistakes will happen when you get under time pressure, although maybe both North and West could have thought a little bit more about their decisions, given that they're ending the round with 7 minutes on the clock. But let's check in on some of the other tables that are still in play. Most tables are still going. We'll take a look at the net bridge auction. Looks like a very similar auction. So once again, North balances 3 diamonds on a very, very mediocre hand with queen third of hearts. Obviously defensive assets and a flat shape. And West once again competed to 3 hearts, not going after a potential penalty in the diamond contract. How bad was it going to be if they ended up in 3 diamonds doubled? I'm just thinking about it now. One of my favorite things to analyze is what happens if the opponents step out of line, as they would have here. I mean, it would be down at least 1, and down 2 looks very possible. Whereas, of course, as already noted, 3 hearts can be defeated. We'll see if North-South end up doing a little bit better on this lie of the cards. It looks like yes, they are going to be able to beat this, because North can rough this trick, and regardless of what North plays, South can just win the ace of hearts here, and play a club through, basically. And that's going to promote the queen of hearts, or just score the queen of hearts on defense. So 3 hearts is going to go down 1. I mean, the big thing about this 3 diamond balance is that if your opponents are too afraid to double you, it's always going to earn you border match points. It might not earn you a ton of imps. But with 2 hearts being an easy make east-west, we've seen both declares not really struggle to take 8 tricks in that contract. Oh, here we go. I was talking about this possibility of a 1 no trump opener, and it looks like here we've landed. 2 spades is a range ask. 3 clubs is showing a maximum? Did West just miscount their high cards? Because that's a 14 count. Uh-oh. I was going to say East-West might end up in 2 no trump, which, I mean, who knows how that contract's going to play. There's certainly enough tricks available to make 8 tricks in no trump, and the question is just going to be if the defense can end up scoring 5 tricks before declare gets up to, or 6 tricks before declare gets up to 8. But a diamond opening lead from North against 3-0. So this looks like it's going to be just enough. North can just duck 2 rounds of diamonds to keep communication in the diamond suit. Declare has to play on hearts. They really just don't have an alternative. And yeah, I mean, declare might just lead the king of hearts out of hand immediately. You could cross to the Spade King to take a heart finesse, just praying for a very favorable Queen Doubleton of Hearts on side. A little bit risky. Leading this club is quite optimistic, because now you definitely give up a club trick, and if the King of Clubs is offside, you haven't really worked to set up your hearts in the first place. Wow! North ducks! Oh, that's crazy. So Declare has been able to steal a club trick and an entry to lead hearts. It's still not quite enough. But, wow, I can't believe North won the Ace of Diamonds either. You would have thought that North wanted to keep communication in the diamond suit by ducking that trick. But again, some of these, I guess we could say, mistakes. Wait, what happened to the King of Hearts? Uh-oh. Uh-oh. We have a problem. West has made a misclick. I mean, it's not going to matter. It's really not going to affect their result, but I'm sure that they're very upset with what just happened. They might be trying to get an undo or something. I don't know if undos even exist. I think the answer is no, none in these events. But yeah, West can just lead a heart here. North will win the queen and cash 2 diamonds as West discards their 2 spade losers that they were going to lose anyway. And they'll end up down 1. So, looks like an okay result for North-South, but of course 3 no trump down 1 has just been pushed with some of the other tables that ended up in 3 hearts going down 1. Let's head out as they are continuing to wrap up that board. We do see a different auction at this table. This looks like the most successful auction for East-West that we've seen so far. West opens a no trump, and it just goes all pass. North on lead, spends quite a bit of time. They only have 20 seconds left on the clock, but this contract should make without any trouble. Declare does have 2 diamonds. They didn't put up the diamond 10 at trick 1, but it looks like it's going to work out for them. The 7 forces the jack. Declare does cross in spades, so a little bit of a risky play, but this is playing for all of the marbles. Heart to the jack, hoping for a very fortunate Queen Doubleton, for example, in South, or possibly just hoping that the King of Diamonds will produce another entry. And wow, North cashes the diamond ace. Okay, so this is going very poorly for the defenders. Might not end up mattering, but North has effectively stripped themselves of all entries. Let's take a look at the standings, though, to see where things sit before we get into the 3rd round of play. BridgeChamp is up at the top, New Amateur sitting in 2nd, Beachy is in 3rd, and then there's actually quite a gap to 4th and 5th place, as well as all the rest of the teams down here. But this can change very quickly. Taking a look at the results of that previous round, BridgeChamp, a huge victory over NetBridge, 10-2 in the first round. And then looking at amateurs, they had a big victory in the first segment and then a small victory in the second segment. Let's follow some of the teams that are towards the top of the standings. I mean, if we could see the New Amateurs against BridgeChamp matchup, maybe we'll check that out later. Let's start here. New Amateurs against Harris. 2 passes go around to a spade from North. East overcalls a no trump with a 17 count. 2 spade stoppers. Looks like a pretty good bid. South No reason to bid after the no trump overcall. You have 6 high card points. Some players might bid 2 spades. I think that it's probably a bad decision with the south cards to do so. And 1 no trump does pass out. So spade opening lead from south. Seems pretty automatic. May as well lead partner suit. I know that generally East is going to have 2 spade stoppers here, so maybe you lead a spade and it picks off partner's king jack or something, but you do have 10-3. Yeah, I do not like a club lead. I think that's just not really listening to partner. In the auction, partner did open, and partner opened for a reason. It was to get that opening lead. So club to the ace, North now switches to spades. So South should definitely continue spades. Partner's deuce of spades switch was an attitude switch, asking for partner to continue. If North had bad spades, they might have switched to the 9 or the 5 or something, not the 2 for sure. Queen of diamonds. Well, now what's your plan? I'm certain that East was really hoping that Queen of Diamonds wouldn't win. They wanted to get an entry to that Diamond King to take a heart finesse, but now they realize that they're in a bit of trouble because they've set up quite a few diamond tricks on defense. If South gets in and continues the Jack of Diamonds. But South continues spades, kind of understandably. This is going to set up North spade suit. North does have the Ace of Diamonds as an entry. So I think East will happily win this trick and cash out. 3 more hearts and a club is going to be plenty of tricks to make 1 no trump. And North, of course, is going to come down to the stiff Ace of Diamonds and 2 winning spades. So North will hold declare to 6 or 7 tricks, but that's still a plus score for East-West. Declare might have had some issues if the opening club lead hadn't come. If South had led a spade at trick 1 and continued spades at tricks 3, or for example, whenever they got in with the Heart King, Declare might have actually had some problems on this hand because they would need to take a club finesse and they don't really have a ton of entries to do so. It is worth noting that East-West missed a heart fit, so there is some possibility that they end up scoring a little bit better at other tables. But let's check in on the BridgeChamp team and see how they're doing on these first boards. Ooh, okay. A bit of a spicier auction. So a spade and no trump. South did come in with 2 spades at this table. Not the craziest thing. You have 6 high card points and 3 card spade support. The thing that I really don't like about it is you're missing an honor. So if it goes a spade, a no trump, 2 spades, and West has some values and makes, say, a negative double, East is pretty likely to pass that with, ace jack 3rd or ace jack 4th of spades, and your side could be getting into a lot of trouble. But the way the auction timed out, East-West got themselves forced into 3 clubs, and there is not a great club split for East-West. They're up to a 6th trick here by roughing the spade, and they should get up to 8 tricks. They'll be able to score 2 more clubs, the King of Clubs and the Jack of Clubs, via a en passant trump play by playing the 5 of Diamonds through South. Will end up taking tricks. But that's going to be the last tricks for East-West. So 3 clubs is going to go down 1. Yeah, club to the ace here, and no way to prevent Declara from scoring 2 more trump tricks. The king of clubs will expose the trump split, and then a diamond will set up that jack of clubs. But 3 clubs going down. We did see a no trump making, so better result for north-south at that table. Let's check in on one of the rooms that might be just getting started with that second board of play. So we're on board 8 over here. North opens a club, south bids a heart. 6 high card points. East decided not to come in with a light takeout double, despite having the right shape, especially opposite a past hand partner. Club of heart. North has 18. Normally they would rebid 2 no trump with this hand shape, so I wonder what the delay is from North. Okay, 2 diamonds. Just alerted as 18 plus. I can't read the shorthand. It looks like it might be Italian. So South's 2 spades is a relay to 2 no trump. North is going to bid 2 no trump to complete the relay. Okay, relay without 5 hearts. I can at least read that. I'm familiar with some Romance languages. 2 no trump by North, so North knows they don't have a heart fit. Although he might be wondering if a 4-3 heart fit could even play well with his king, queen, jack, having such strong trumps. With 6... Interesting. So South bids 3 clubs. This is check back, it looks like, looking for a 4-4 spade fit. Fun system for North-South that we get to experience here. Okay, 3 hearts shows 3 hearts, not 4 spades. That's curious to me. South has denied 5 hearts with the 2 spade bid, so I'm not sure why North would ever want to show 3 hearts. 3 no by South. All right, good luck to North. Do they have enough tricks? That's going to be the question. The clubs split. They will probably get a diamond lead into the ace, king, jack. So that's going to be 3 diamond tricks, 3 heart tricks, and probably 3 club tricks. Declare never needs to touch the spade suit. With the clubs splitting well, this should be an easy 9 tricks. So the 10 of diamonds opening lead goes to the queen and king. Okay. Queen of hearts. Probably the king of hearts now. Now North is showing off all their high cards. Just having a grand old time. This will set up the last heart in South's hand, and that king of clubs is an entry to get over there. There's not really any danger on the deal. I mean, Declare is going to lose a heart, and they're going to lose a club, but even if the spade ace is offside, it's pretty unlikely that East-West are going to be able to take 3 spade tricks. I mean, from this point, East would effectively have to switch to spades and get Declare all confused. Like, the queen of spades switch might do something. But I think Declare would just cover that trick knock out the club queen. Maybe cash the 10 of hearts before doing anything else as well. So it should be 9 tricks. I suppose there's a possibility of a 10th trick if the defense is not careful. Like, technically, East will need to switch to spades to hold Declare to 9 tricks, but I think generally Declare is just going to end up cashing their 9 and leading a spade up towards the king in the end position. So East will probably be able to come down to the stiff ace of spades and a diamond winner by that time. But we'll see how the play develops. West deep in the tank here, pitches the 7 of diamonds. East, not caring about the 7 of diamonds pitch, continues the 9 of diamonds. I mean, it looks like West might have even been trying to get their partner to find that spade switch. Diamond around to the jack. Probably see a club duck to West. Oh, club to the king. Interesting. I mean, it was very safe for Declare to duck that club to West there. Club to the jack. Gotta duck this now. I mean, you don't have to, but that does seem pretty natural to keep communication. Yeah, and now East is going to be able to pitch their spades and take the last 2 tricks. So 3-no trump making 3. Feels like a strong result there for East-West, or North-South, I mean. Let's check in on our final match that we haven't seen this round. NetBridge against Adora. A couple of these teams, I think, were towards the bottom of the standings, but that can all change. And we have an exciting hand. South has 7-4 in the minors, 15 high card points, lots of controls. 2 passes go to South, who opens a diamond. West overcalls a heart, and North should be able to show spades, so 1 spade. 2 hearts by East looks like a pretty normal bid. Singleton diamond and 3-card heart support. And this is going to test North-South's agreements, because South wants to make a strong bid showing diamonds, probably. Oh, East doesn't bid 2 hearts. So this gives South the option of making a 2-heart Q bid. Now that would be game forcing, but maybe South's hand is just good enough to do that. You don't have a spade fit, but the 2-heart bid kind of implies that, because if you had a spade fit and you wanted to game force, you would bid 4 spades, or you would splinter or something like that. Okay. This wouldn't be the recommended game force, 3 clubs, but that's one way to go about it. So if South wasn't confident about their 2-heart bid, which effectively should deny a spade fit and be game forcing, so it would imply stuff in the minors. It wouldn't necessarily show diamonds and long clubs, but it would show minor suit things. Maybe you're looking for a heart stopper. Maybe you're looking for, I don't know, a diamond fit or a club fit or something like that. Maybe you're looking to see if partner has a 6-card spade suit. But for whatever reason, South elected to try 3 clubs. So 3 hearts. Essentially asking about a stopper, and I don't see any reason for South to reject that plan. Yeah, this is very interesting. East did not raise hearts. I still think West is just going to lead a heart. West leads a spade! I suppose West thought that because their partner didn't raise hearts, they were a little bit worried their partner could have a singleton. But if East had a doubleton heart, West probably should have just let a heart at trick one, expecting that hopefully their partner gets in and hearts are 5-3-3-2 around the table. East gets in and then pushes a heart through. But this is going to work out beautifully, assuming East unblocks the 10 of hearts. Now, so Declare can pitch a club on this trick, and now a heart will come. The question is which heart? East plays the 10. This is going to look to West like a doubleton. So the 10 of hearts goes to the Jack, Queen, and West might just continue another low spade, hoping to put partner in again. Because the Ace of Hearts would effectively be playing partner for a 3-card heart support, and remember, all the way back here in the auction, East has already turned up with the Ace 10 fourth of spades. If they had 3 hearts, they probably would have bid 2 hearts over a spade in this spot. So West is not that comfortable. I think the 3 of hearts switch might have been a little bit easier to read, but it's still not easy. Then it might look like a singleton. But okay. West continues the Ace of Hearts, and this is going to spell Declare's downfall. That King of Hearts falls. I was looking at West's webcam to see if they had any relief, but no expression whatsoever. All business here from West. They do cash out. So, kind of an unbelievable opening lead choice into just excellent defensive guesswork here from East and West to beat this contract 2 tricks. South pitches the diamond ace. South is not happy. You know, going all the way back to trick 1, I wonder if Declare should have hopped up with the Spade King, hoping that was their only way to prevent East from getting in. If the Spade Honors were switched, that would have been the way to make the contract. But 3-no trump goes down too. I wonder if we're going to see that duplicated at too many tables. Let's see who all is still playing. We can check out the final... We can check out the final board of the BridgeChamp auction. North-South ending up in 5 diamonds, it looks like. So there was some heart support here by East, 2 hearts. The South bid 3 clubs. Although a bit of a different auction here. 3 diamonds by North, just kind of marking time. 3 hearts by South asking. North bid 3 spades, waiting. And South, rather than showing the heart stopper, decided to bid 5 diamonds. I think this is a little bit of a mistake on this auction by South, because we do have a heart stopper, and while we have excellent shape for a possible minor suit game, given that the form of scoring includes some board match, we do want to play in 3-no trump if that's the right place to play. Ooh, West leads the heart ace. Very understandable, actually, given the lack of a 3-no trump bid. So West probably assuming that neither North or South had a heart stopper because of the lack of a 3-no bid. And that's why West tried to cash a couple of heart tricks immediately. But this is not going to work out, and now Declare is in excellent shape. Declare still needs to be very careful, because the 4th round of clubs is going to be a problem. And the issue is, if Declare tries to rough that 4th round of clubs in the North hand, given the 5-1 club split, Declare is not going to be able to do that. So a line of play such as king of clubs and a club towards the ace, West can just ruff and return a trump. And now Declare is kind of stuck. If they pull a second round of trumps to pull all of West trumps, they never get to ruff their fourth round of clubs. And if they try and cross to the club ace, then West will just ruff the third round of clubs. Oh no! Oh no! Declare did lead a club, but we'll never know what ended up happening on that one. All right, we're into round 4. Let's quickly check the standings to see where everyone has ended up. BridgeChamp in first, Beachy is in second, New Amateurs are in third. Bit of a drop off to Harris and NetBridge in the 4th and 5th place spots, and the rest of the teams down there. Let's continue following our leaders, though. BridgeChamp against Beachy. This is the 1 versus 2 matchup. Let's tune into this room. 2 passes go around a 2 no trump from West. 20 high card points. Now, I've played against Dubois, sitting over here in the West seat a number of times. I know that he really sticks with his system, so he would probably not be upgrading 19 counts into this 2 no trump opening range. Similarly, he would probably not even think of upgrading this 20 count out of the 2 no trump range, which I think we could see at some tables. This is an exceptionally good 20 high card points. All of the honors are working. You have an excellent 5 card suit. The 10-9 of clubs are really valuable. So I could definitely see players thinking that this might even be worth a 2 high card point upgrade into, say, 2 clubs, 2 diamonds, 2 no. But 2 no, West is surprised by a transfer to hearts. Oh, this is going to be a spicy one. Because East-West can make all 13 tricks in, well, any strain other than diamonds and spades. Yeah, the fact that stiff queen of clubs falls, Declare can actually take a finesse against the club jack to pick up the club suit. Now, I think they'll probably end up reaching 6 hearts. East has a 10 high card point hand. West has made a super accept of the heart bid, which makes East's hand a lot better. The Jack 10-9 fifth of hearts opposite a doubleton or even 3 trumps isn't such a great holding, but opposite 4 or more trumps, this is an excellent holding. Because now, even if partner has ace-king 4th of hearts, you might lose no heart tricks if the suit splits in the normal fashion, 2-2 or the queen falling. So 4 club cubed by East. West, I think, is going to be happy to not take control with keycard and just bid 4 diamonds here. Great decision by West, because West's hand is all keycards. Yes, he has this 5th trump, which is obviously a big asset, but he wants his partner to be asking, because if he can show 4 keycards, the trump queen, and the club king, he'll have showed everything in his hand. His partner will know exactly what's going on. His partner won't know about the doubleton spade or that he's 3-3 in the minors, for example, but he'll have gotten across all of his high card points, and hopefully that'll give East enough information. I guess we'll see if that's what's going on. No, it looks like West got forced into bidding keycard. Kind of understandable by East, although I think maybe East could have taken over there, given that they're the one that's actually just missing keycards. Ace, ace, king, queen, ace, king of clubs. I mean, East is looking for all of those cards and has a way to ask. So keycard, 5 clubs, showing 1. West is going to bid 5 no trump here to confirm all of the keycards and the trump queen. And this will kind of pass the buck to East a little bit, because if East happened to hold a hand that was a little bit stronger, you know, imagine if East's hand happened to hold the club queen in addition, maybe. Then upon hearing that their partner had all of the keycards and the trump queen, East might be able to now take over the auction and end up bidding 7 hearts, for example. No guarantee. I mean, East would still be a little bit worried that their partner could have wasted spade cards, but I I do believe that West is probably going to bid 5 no trump. Okay, interesting. Oh, they have a little bit of a convention here. 5 spades is a serious grand slam try, so that's cute. Six diamonds by East, kind of temporizing. Trying to show a little bit of values in the diamond suit. Yeah, I wonder. I mean, the queen... So West knows the Queen of Hearts is a wasted card. Because they have 10 trumps, West is not worried about the Queen of Trumps, which means that 6 heart bid, or the Queen of Hearts is not a very effective value. So it's like West has kind of the most amazing 18 count possible in this auction is what's going on. And West does very well. Signs off in 6 hearts. So this was a great auction by East-West. There's going to be nothing to the play here. Declare is either going to make 12 or 13 tricks, depending on how they try and play the club suit. I think he's going to guess it right, but we'll jump over to another table to try and see what's going on at some of the other rooms. So let me just... Oh, I was trying to pull up the results from this table. Looks like we might not have access to it. I was curious if they ended up reaching 6 hearts or if they end up not. But we'll take a look at new amateurs against NetBridge here for a second. South opens a club. West decides to come in with 1 spade. And West, of course, had the opportunity to preempt if he wanted to. 2 spades, limit raise or better in clubs. It's not exactly how I would describe the North hand, but I think understandably North decided they want their partner to be the one declaring the no trump. Pass by East. East also has a long major, but nothing really to do after partner's 1 spade bid. 3 clubs by South. I guess South just didn't really want to show anything extra. So 3 spades, 3 no trump. All right. Big decision, I think. So one question is, what does West double mean of this contract? Would double say, please, yes, lead a spade? Or would West double say, please don't lead a spade? So that's an interesting question immediately. West decides to pass and let it go, and now East does need to make a choice. East chooses wrong. So not only is this heart lead going to give up a trick, but it's going to give Declare plenty of time to knock out the diamond ace. And with the clubs splitting, Declare is in excellent shape. Declare definitely should test the club suit first, play a club to the queen, see if they split, but then can knock out the ace of diamonds. I guess playing a round of diamonds first is not the worst thing ever. I think West probably should hop up with the diamond ace. I mean, it's very possible that East has ace jack 10 of hearts instead of king jack 10 as they do here. And then Declare would have ended up stealing their 9th trick if West didn't take the ace of diamonds in that situation. So yeah, I think big thing, trust partners bidding, and then another thing on defense, probably trust partners opening lead that that you want to be playing hearts. I mean, obviously West can't get in and set up the spades anymore. But 3 no trump making 12 tricks, that's going to be a huge result for NetBridge there. Picking up against Team new amateurs. Let's check back in with the BridgeChamp squad, see if they can manage to do a little bit better on this one. So same opening bid, 1 club by South, same 1 spade overcall by West, and same 2 spade bid from North. It is a tricky problem. I think a lot of players might just blast out 3 no trump, which does seem like a pretty sensible bid to me on the North cards, and actually would probably prevent a spade opening lead on this exact hand because East has a singleton spade, but of course a 7-card heart suit. So 3 clubs from South. North does bid 3 no trump now. The tricky thing with this 2 spade bid is that your partner's not really going to be bidding 2 no trump with the types of hands that you're hoping for, right? Like Queen Doubleton of spades. Is partner really bidding 2 no trump with Queen Doubleton here? I don't think so. They don't believe they have a spade stopper. You've showed a club limit raise. Similarly, is your partner going to be bidding 2 no trump with Jack third of spades? Probably not. And do you even want partner to be playing it? You probably want to play it yourself. I mean, yes, it protects Queen Doubleton of hearts by bidding it this way. Getting partner to play in 3 no if they have, say, King of spades in the Queen Doubleton of hearts. But I think most of the time partner's just going to bid 3 clubs, and then you're going to have to bid 3 no trump anyway on the North cards. Big decision for East. Do you lead a spade? The danger in leading a heart is something like this, actually, which is that it's not so much that, okay, we're supposed to lead a spade because partner has 7 of them, but the heart lead might just give up a trick, and that could cost you in the board match. The spade lead might just be safe, even though it doesn't really work to establish a ton of tricks because spades are pretty likely to be the opponent's suit on an auction like this. But I do kind of wonder, I mean, this kind of tiptoeing around 3 no trump from North, this 2 spade bid followed by 3 no, maybe that's an indication to lead the spade because it sounds as if North's spade stopper is a little bit shaky. A club, a spade, 3 no trump directly, and then I don't think there's any chance players would lead the singleton spade from East's hand. So same result. Heart opening lead, and Declare is going to eventually knock out the diamond ace to make 12 tricks on this one with the club splitting. Let's check in on another table, though. See if we can find a room that's gotten to the final board of the set. Yeah, it looks like we're coming into the auction here for BridgeChamp against Beachy in the other room. North opens heart. East comes in with 2 diamonds. Favorable, opposite of past hand partner. Seems like a pretty sensible bid. King, Queen, Jack, 6th. You could overcall 3 diamonds. 2 spades by South. Yeah, I mean, South has a big hand, but no heart fit. 3 hearts by North. 3 no trump by South. Pretty understandable. And yeah, now North has a bit of a decision to make. Do you bid 4 hearts or 4 spades with this hand? North bids 4 spades. I mean, North knows they have a spade fit. North kind of knows they have a heart fit because the ace, king, queen, 10, 9, 7th of hearts, even opposite of void, would play fine. But there is a reason why partner bids spades. So how is this going to play is the real question. Diamond opening lead. All right. Declare doesn't have a fast entry to the North hand, otherwise they could take a club finesse if they wanted to. I mean, I'm not sure that they would, but that would be one thing to do given the 2 diamond overcall on their right. I wonder if the plan is going to be to just try and cross-ruff some tricks. But there are some issues with that line of play. Like ace of clubs, club ruff, ace, king, queen of hearts pitching diamonds. Well, that's great. The hearts split, but we have no way back to the south hand to ruff another club. But it does seem like that's going to be Declare's first plan of attack. So you're in dummy. Gotta try the heart suit. All right, ace of hearts, pitch some of these diamond losers. I mean, maybe Declare's best plan at that point is to just give up on trying to ruff another club in the north hand and play on trumps. King of spades. And try and pull trumps and eventually get back in. Looks like that'll lead to 10 tricks. Despite the 4-1 trump split, there shouldn't be much the defense can do to prevent Declare from either pulling trumps or getting the queen of clubs set up with that king of clubs coming down. Ooh, that was not the play. Uh-oh. This could be a miscounting problem, or it could just be a not having a lot of faith in your opponent's problem, because normally these 2-level overcalls are going to deliver a pretty good 6-card suit. And South having started with 4 diamonds, even though they pitched 3 of them, and North having started with 2, West is definitely out. So West kind of in the tank on this trick. Eventually does decide to overruff. Or does decide to ruff. But this might still work out okay for Declare. This is starting to look a little bit scary for Declare. Yeah, and it looks like Declare needed to unblock that king of spades to make sure that they were able to pull trumps. Now Declare is probably going to end up going down a trick. This 10 of hearts, I mean, Declare could ruff this. It is a winner. And then pull the last trump, but then Declare is going to lose the last 2 tricks to East with pocket kings. Alternatively, Declare could pitch a club here and just lose the next 2 tricks immediately. West will ruff and then play a club to partner's king. So, good defense from West to kind of fool Declare, cashing that ace of spades. I know a lot of people are going to be afraid to dump the king under an ace, but that would have unblocked the spade suit. So, 4 spades down 1. Unfortunate result for North-South. And maybe North will be wishing that they had bid 4 hearts in the future. We got 2 tables still in play, 3 minutes on the round clock. So let's check in on the new amateurs team who's just started this auction. A heart by North, 3 diamonds by East, the preempt that we talked about, and 3 spades by South. Yeah, 3 spades is a pretty big commitment by South. I certainly understand the decision, but this is going to make it very difficult to get to 3 no trump if that's your side's best contract. And South, of course, has 2 diamond stoppers, given the 3 diamond overcall. Additionally, these preempts often mean that suits split poorly, so no trump tends to be a little bit more attractive in that case. 4 hearts by North. A fascinating choice. We saw earlier with the slower auction, North was able to show their long hearts immediately, and then South bid no trump. And so North was able to then kind of belatedly show the spade support. But here, North was kind of forced to guess what to do immediately and decides to just bid 4 hearts. I know the North player likes to steal the contracts a lot, so it could be the case that that's what's happening here, is North is stealing the contract from their partner. All right, 4 hearts passes around to West. I mean, there's no reason for West to double or anything like that, so West should just be passing this thing out. 1 minute to play the board. I imagine we'll see... I was going to say I thought that the singleton spade lead might still be attractive despite the spade bid, but East does decide to lead the Diamond King. This is gonna... I mean, effectively force Declare to just go ace of club, ace of diamonds, ace of clubs, club rough, and pull trumps. Hearts split. Declare can knock out the spade ace. And that'll be 11 tricks. So a nice result for new amateurs here, getting to the game that just happens to be a little bit easier to make, given the 3-3 heart split and the 4-1 spade split. So let's check back in with the results as we wind down on the round clock until the next round starts. We're in round 5 of 7, so a little bit more than halfway through, and Beachy is now up at the top of the standings. They must have had a killer round recently, yeah, up against BridgeChamp, and that's why BridgeChamp has fallen. They won 11-1 in that segment. New amateurs still hanging on in second place, but BridgeChamp down here in third, and they have a lot of catch-up to do, but we see that these rounds can offer quite a lot of swings. Let's check in on Beachy versus Balzac, because we haven't seen these teams play all that much, I don't think. And of course, because Beachy is now in the lead, we'll follow them playing. Pass by North, East opens a spade. Nice 14 count over there. Pass by South. Unfavorable. South, of course, doesn't want to come in with a preempt. Opposite a passed hand partner, no shape on their hand. 2 no trump by West. Gross. I mean, I've said before that Dubois does like to stick to the conventional agreements, and I bet that 2 no trump for them ends up being, say, 10-12 with limit with 3 or 4 spades was the explanation. So this, I don't think anyone wants to be making that bid, but sometimes you just have a sub minimum and you stick to your system. 3-0 by East. Excellent bid if this is offering a choice. And of course, West is going to be happy to hear that with 4 3-3 shape and all of these jacks. Those are going to be useful cards in no trump, but probably not very useful cards in a suit contract. Club opening lead. Yeah, this is coming up great for West, because now Declare doesn't even have their club stopper knocked out. They score an extra club trick. They can cross in spades to take a heart finesse or to work on the diamond suit. They're going to have plenty of opportunity to score over tricks here. Let's see how Dubois handles this favorable lead, and quite a nice contract. They might end up winning the border match on this one just for playing in no trump here. Jack of spades, probably, I was going to say probably wanted to overtake this to earn as many entries to the east hand as possible to lead red suits towards West. But maybe he's planning to just run the spade suit and put a lot of pressure on the opponents to force them to make some discards. Looks like that's his plan. 4 of hearts discard encouraging from South is going to give him a lot of confidence to lead towards the ace-jack, 9 of hearts, I think, for an extra trick. Encouraging diamond from North. Yeah, West is pausing to take a look at the opponent's cards for a second here. He'll pitch the 2 of diamonds or the 3 of diamonds on this trick. But I can't imagine that he's going to cash that last spade yet, because if he does, his hand is going to get... Whoa! Okay. Has he figured it out? Man, North pitched down to the stiff ace of diamonds, which I think is a pretty big mistake. Yeah, that's a huge mistake. Now Declare scores 2 extra diamond tricks. Oh! West is all over this one. Reads North's error and ends up scoring a ton of over tricks on this deal that he wasn't really entitled to from the start. Beautiful play from Dubois to earn what, I mean, has to be a board match win on this one. Plus 660 is a huge result. Let's check in on one of the other rooms. I mean, if they're still in the middle of the play. Yeah, so they've gotten to 4 spades east-west at the other table for Team Balzac. 1 spade, 2 spades by West. I think a very understandable bid. 2 no trump by North, showing them my, oh my. 2 no trump is absolutely insane. 5-4, just asking to get penalized on this one. East bids 3 clubs as a game try of some kind. Not sure that was necessary on the East cards, but of course there was no chance that East-West were going to reach no trump anymore. East has the club stopper, West has the diamond stopper, so that was going to be too hard to diagnose after the 1 spade past 2 spades start. So Dubois earns a swing not only in the auction by getting to 3-0, but then, again, there's just no chance that Declare is going to be taking 12 tricks and spades on this hand. So let's tune into another table. Let's follow New Amateurs is still in the 2nd place, and they're playing up against one of the lower seeds currently in Zyra. So East opens a spade, West bids a no trump, East bids 2 clubs. Not really where you wanted to end up on these East-West cards. I guess they... One no trump was semi-forcing. So that's a little bit odd to me that East ended up taking a bid over the semi-forcing no trump with a 5-3-3-2 flat hand, especially with minimum high cards, it looks like. But it does seem like Declare is doing a pretty good job cross-ruffing as many tricks as possible. South is going to have to make some discards here. This will get Declare up to a 5th trick, and then leading a heart will get them up to a 6th trick. But North can, of course, rough in with the club queen and cash the club ace to prevent a cross ruff. This is... This is an important defensive technique for North to be aware of. That when Declare is trying to cross-ruff, it's often correct to rough in with a high trump to prevent that from happening. So yeah, the Queen of Clubs ruff is going to allow North to pull a couple of rounds of trumps, Ace of Clubs and a club. And Declare is going to be held just a trick short. Ace of Diamonds and a natural club trick are going to be all they can manage to score from here. Wow, the King of Diamonds switch from North, a little bit of an unusual decision. I would have expected a club to come through to possibly pull even more trumps from East's hand. But maybe North also is unaware that East is on a 3-card club holding. All right, East tries a diamond to the jack. South gets to win. Exits the diamond 10. So the defense just needs to be a little bit careful. South can discard on this trick and let North win the king. And then South will have the last two clubs, or South can rough in and pull Declare's trump. Very important for South not to rough this trick and then exit the 9 of diamonds, because then the 10 of clubs will score. We'll stick around until that play gets made. All right, the 9 of diamonds discard happens, and this will be down 1. Let's check in on Team BridgeChamp. See how they're doing. Same hand, so we just saw this hand played in 2 clubs in the 3-3 fit. Now we get to see this hand played into no trump in the West. 3 of spades opening lead from North. Great play, leading through the 5-card spade suit, the auction. Spade pass and no trump. But a spade lead goes to the 9, and so now South is in. And South needs to find a switch. 10 of diamonds. So you don't really want to switch to the 10 of diamonds in this spot. You're assuming that your partner has a diamond on her, right? If your partner doesn't have a diamond on her, then a diamond switch is just going to run around to the jack and dummy. You're looking at that card. And if partner has the ace or king of diamonds, leading the 4 of diamonds is going to be just good enough. You'll play a diamond to partner's ace or king, and then a diamond comes back, and all of your diamonds will set up that way. So the 10 of diamond switch ends up kind of costing South a diamond trick, because now when North returns a diamond, which I don't know if that's what's going to happen, he does decide to play back a spade, actually. The 8 of diamonds in Declare's hand is going to set up on the 4th round. Okay, jack of spades, the queen holds. Declare needs to make a discard from their own hand. Tricky position. You don't really want to pitch from that 5-card heart suit, because that's your most likely source of tricks, but pitching a diamond could end up costing you that diamond trick that we just talked about. Pitching a club might end up costing you a club trick. So I guess West probably does have to throw a heart, and he does so reluctantly. But now what? A couple of natural lines of play. We could lead the jack. Well, this was not this was not what I was going to recommend. I mean, when the opponents lead a spade at trick 1 and dummy has a 5-card spade suit, you can be confident that they have 5 spades, at least, right? North is not just leading. You can be confident of one thing. Spades are not splitting well. I mean, North could have had a singleton spade and led one against this auction, hoping that their partner had good spades over there. But yeah, cashing that ace of spades really just sets up tricks for North. I was going to say that West, especially given that they had pitched hearts, they could have gone after either diamonds or clubs. They could have run the 10 of clubs, or possibly just run the jack of diamonds. I get the sense that West might have miscounted the spade suit or something. Because that getting a spade here is just going to give North a couple of tricks, and then North is obviously going to be able to push a heart through the ace-queen, or play a diamond through the jack. Number of possibilities. Yeah, once Declare pitches a diamond, North was all over it, plays a diamond through. So South can cover that jack of diamonds. Declare has 3 tricks in. They can still take 2 more hearts with the help of a finesse, with that working. But They're going to need to be very careful about how they manage the end position from there if they want to escape for down 1. Yeah, this is not going to be very effective. South can cash a couple of diamonds and then play a club through. And I mean, it's very fortunate for Declare that that North is not sitting on the club 8. Otherwise, the defense could cash out from here. The 4 of diamonds would squeeze the east hand. South does need to be counting, though. Was South paying attention to when Declare pitched that diamond or not? Because that 4 of diamonds is a winner, but South might not have been paying that careful attention. All right, South plays back a heart, so Declare is going to get back to par if they run the 10 of clubs to North. But if Declare plays the club to the king, then now a low club from North, and he's all over it. Club to the jack, the 4 of diamonds does take the last trick. So 1 no trump down 2. A hard-fought battle, but plus 100 for Team BridgeChamp, which looks like a pretty nice result on this board. Let's check in on some of the other tables to see as this round winds down. We'll head over back to our leaders. They're in the midst of play of this final board, or the second to last board, board 14. They're still going to have 1 board to play after this. We'll stick with this table just because they are the leaders of the event. It looks like North has a bit of a decision to make on this trick. So North is in with the previous trick that 10 of clubs went to the jack, king, and ace. I'm not sure South had to cover that 10 of clubs, but he decided to. Yeah, so North plays back a club. This is going to run around to Declare's 8. And now South is going to be in with the jack of hearts. Yeah, that small club exit from North really is going to hurt North-South on this trick, because not only does it strand North's club suit because South doesn't have another club, but Declare got an extra entry to now set up the long hearts. So now a diamond comes through, but Declare is going to be thrilled to go up with the ace and just cash out. 1 no trump making 1 in this room, and as we saw at some of the other tables, 1 no trump down 2 was a pretty sensible result, or East-West playing in the 3-3 club fit, also going down. So let's see how they handle the very last board of the set. So not a great result for Beachy there. It's not going to cost them a ton of imps, but it will hurt them in the board of match scoring on this board. They got 1 board to play. They're under 4 minutes on the clock. Players are going to need to pick up the pace. I wonder what we're waiting on. It looks like East might have left the table. Uh-oh. Okay, let's check in on the other table then. Oh, they've already finished play. Looks like South opened 2 spades on this hand, and that just went all pass. West, Dubois, relatively conservative bidder in general, other than that 2 no trump bid we saw earlier, decides not to take action, favorable even, over 2 spades with a spade void and a 7-card diamond suit, only 7 high card points. 2 spades, pass, pass. And East, 17 count, but decides that his best chance of scoring a pretty big result was to just pass out and let the opponents play 2 spades vulnerable. And was he correct? I mean, could East-West have made a no-trump game? It looks like Looks like the answer to that is yes. The diamond suit would set up and the spades would get cut off if Declare ducks the first round of spades. Not the most trivial no-trump game to make, but it is available. Also, it looks like 5 diamonds might make. King of Hearts is on side. You can rough out the club queen, pull trumps. You can even pitch on the ace king of spades, I guess. So, could be a nice result for North-South. Has play started? No, we're still... Okay, we're into the last board. So once again, these are still our leaders North-South for the event. They have 2 minutes to play a hand. I mean, it's a pretty natural 2-spade opening bid from South. And West has the decision to make. Dubois ended up passing with the West cards. West also passes here. Also doesn't think their hand is good enough to take action. So 2 spades is going to pass around to East. And now is East going to balance? It is 17. I think I like the decision at the other table, even though it happened to work out poorly, to not balance with something like 2 no trump on the East cards. Because the vulnerable opponents are pretty likely to go down in this contract, and you have no idea if your side can make anything East-West. And if you do end up beating at 2 tricks, plus 200, versus, say, minus 50 if your side gets to 3 no trump and just doesn't have any tricks, is still going to be a sizable chunk of imps. But East does balance 2 no, and that's going to get them to... We got a lot of activity going on in the background of West's webcam. The dangers of playing bridge in a home office when kids are around. So 2 no, 3 no trump from West. Rather exciting decision. I think decides just at this Patton form of scoring that doesn't want to bypass 3 no trump as a possible game. I wonder if West had a way to suggest the minor suits, like 3 spades, for example. Might have been the easier game to play. I mean, 5 diamonds is absolutely cold, and 3 no trump is going to take a little bit of work, or a little bit of effort. So club discard at trick 1. Declare does well to duck the opening spade lead. Very important. Because if Declare had won the opening spade lead, North would get in with the first round of diamonds and then play a second spade, and South would be the one that has the remaining diamond stopper. So good decision. Now a diamond comes. Declare tries the jack of diamonds to see if South will hop up with King Doubleton, for example. All right, North is in. Tries the 10 of hearts. Is Declare brave? Do they stick in the queen? I guess it doesn't matter, given that hearts are 7-1. But it might be safest to just go up with the heart ace and play another diamond here. If South gets in, they're effectively end-played. Your queen of hearts is protected. And if North gets in and plays another low heart, well, we have a guess to make. So probably club continuation from South here. South knows that East has the ace of spades remaining. The diamonds are all set up. And if Declare has the club king, they just have the rest anyway. So a spade continuation would just give Declare access to the ace of spades, which they might not have. Good decision by South to switch to clubs, but Declare now can claim the rest of the tricks. 3 no trump making 4. So good result there for Team Balzac. We got one table still in play with 30 seconds left on the round clock. Oh, looks like a long auction by East-West. They have reached 5 diamonds, which looks to be probably the better game contract, although as we see, if 3 no trump makes 4, that could end up hurting them in the border match scoring. Oh, well, not anymore. Not if South goes after this. 5 diamonds doubled is going to come home. Oh, we don't get to see the final result, but I suspect that Team BridgeChamp did quite well on that last board, and as expected, they've now moved up into second place. Beachy's still holding the lead. We have BridgeChamp against New Amateurs, kind of the fight for second, it seems. But if one of these teams wins by a large margin, then they might be able to overtake Team Beachy in first place. Still 2 rounds to go, 6 boards. Let's follow this table for the first hand. North opens a no trump. 14 to 16 is the range. East will probably bid 3 clubs. Lacking the club ace and lacking a quick entry, I think makes 3 clubs a bit more attractive on these cards. I know it's a little bit nerve-wracking, unfavorable against the strong no trump with a past hand partner. But taking up the room, I think, is pretty important for East to do, and they agree. So what are North-South's agreements over 3 clubs? Can South still play transfers in this spot? Like, would double be negative or effectively Stamen, and 3 diamonds and 3 hearts are transfers to the majors? Do they have that agreement? Or is South just going to have to bid 4 hearts, for example, to show their hand? Or 4 diamonds, for example. So 4 diamonds, transfer to hearts. I was thinking South might be in the mood for making a slam try, if possible. The excellent shape and values concentrated in the red suits might make it a reasonable thing to do. I mean, we see here that 4 or 6 hearts does happen to make if Declare picks off the Spade King. Is that true? Maybe that's not exactly true. Okay, I take it all back. A club lead could put 6 hearts in a bit of jeopardy. Yeah, see, South is thinking. South does decide to pass 4 hearts. If you don't have the tools available to make your slam try at the 4 level, then I think you do have to just let this go. The small Doubleton club is a bit of a non-starter when slam exploring at the 5 level. East could have just started Ace King 6th of clubs or something like that. So club opening lead. And what's Declare's plan going to be? I mean, Declare's plan might revolve around Ace of clubs, Ace of spades, Queen of spades, trying to take a roughing finesse against East. And this is going to work out spectacularly poorly for a number of reasons. One, East is just going to rough the 3rd round of spades, and that'll also kill Declare's ability to try and rough the 4th round of diamonds in the north hand as well. I mean, if Declare ends up winning this trick and working on trumps, then that's going to work out very nicely for him. Because with club 7-1, West won't be able to play another club. But yeah, I think this is kind of the most natural line of play. Ace of spades, Queen of spades, roughing finesse. You expect the 3 club bidder vulnerable to have a pretty good hand. So this is going to work out. I mean, Declare is going to be pretty happy with the way things are going so far. But now he's going to try and cross to the Diamond King to pitch the club loser on the Jack of spades, and that is not going to work out as East roughs. Yeah, not exactly what North was hoping for. He's going to get saved a little bit with that Queen of Diamonds falling. But yeah, he's in a pretty bad spot at this point. If hearts happen to be 4-1 and this ruff comes with a singleton heart, he's in loads of trouble. Pitching the club would be a small reprieve, but of course the Queen of Clubs can now just come through, so he would be in the same spot. West will discard on this trick. West does need to be a little bit careful. Needs to save his 9/3 of diamonds because that's a trick. Oh, West over ruff. So this is certainly an error, because now Declare is going to be able to ruff that last diamond. The 10 of hearts holds, and now he's going to lead a diamond to the Queen and Ace, cash the Jack of Diamonds as he is out of trumps, and then ruff the 4th diamond. So just ends up costing an over trick, but possibly a valuable over trick. You know, these are the teams fighting for second place, and if BridgeChamp ends up going minus 420 in the other room, then this will be... North has a full count on the hand as well at this point. East has turned up with 7 clubs, with West showing out on the second round, and East has followed to 2 rounds of every other suit. So North, just being careful, is going to count the hand out and then cash the Jack of Diamonds and claim. Any minute now. Yeah, there's the Jack of Diamonds, and saw a little bit of a grimace from West there. He knew. He realized. But 4 hearts making 5. Looks like a good result for new amateurs to start out the set. Let's check back in with Beachy, who is in the midst of playing the second board. A club, a no trump, 3 no trump. We're a couple of tricks in. Opening lead went to the King of Hearts. And now a heart came back to the Ace. So there appears to be a guess for the Club Queen. Declare can knock out the Spade Ace to set up a couple of spade tricks. That's going to be the plan. 2 rounds of spades right now. Knock out that Ace of Spades, and West will continue a 3rd heart. And then it's going to be to Declare to cash a bunch of diamonds, come down to Ace 10 3rd of clubs, opposite King Jack 3rd, and try and find that Queen of Clubs. Looks like Declare is going after diamonds first. I think this... It doesn't really cost, but there's no real need to do this. Spade to the Jack, spade. All right, West is in with the Ace of Spades, and now, as mentioned, West can continue another heart. So club discard, cash 2 more diamonds, pitching a club. East will probably throw a couple of spades on these tricks. West is going to have to follow, and then a spade to the Queen, as West also will discard. Probably their last heart. So that's going to mark West with 3 clubs to East 2, because West will have showed all of their other cards. We know that hearts were 4-4 from the opening lead. Oh, but Declare goes anti-percentage in the club suit and is going to get rewarded here. Queen Doubleton of clubs pops up, and that's going to be 3 no trump, making 11 tricks. So excellent result for North-South there. They're not going to win a ton of imps, but they might win the border match result on that board for picking up the Club Queen. Let's check back in with our second and third place matchup. Let's try and head to the other room, in fact. So they're on board 18. This is the third board of the segment. 2 passes around to West, who opens a club in third seat. A hard overcall, negative double by East. And South can bid 2 clubs. Looks like intended as a limit raise. No alert. I think it is important in these online events to just self-alert basically anything. So 2 hearts by North. Most players will be playing transfers over these one of a major double. So a lot of them would be playing 2 clubs, shows diamonds in this spot. But 2 hearts by North, 10 count, kind of flat. Partner's a passed hand, no reason to go past the 2 level. And 2 hearts is where the contract's going to end. West has 4 trumps, so no reason for them to think balancing is the right thing to do. No spade fit either. East on lead. Does decide to lead partner's club suit. I think a good choice. One of the main reasons that partner might open in third seed if they have a light hand is to direct the opening lead. So I like the club lead. North does decide to stick up the queen immediately, just hoping to steal a trick. Ace of hearts and the jack shows up. Another round of hearts, and so that's going to establish the 10-9 fourth from West as a trump trick. The defense still has 3 diamonds that they can take, as well as a club and a spade, and that heart. So it's looking like 2 hearts is going to go down 1. Probably a good decision by East-West to stop. It looks like they might have been able to make a part score in clubs, but it's hard for them to get there. Spade to the king and ace. West decides to pull another trump, and this is getting a little bit scary. Yeah. East, I'm not sure about that 4th round of trumps from West. Yeah, now the diamond suit has gotten blocked. This is not good for East-West. East needs to unblock the ace of diamonds and then underlead the jack of clubs to their partner's 10. I think this is a very findable defense, but they have made it a lot harder on themselves. Yeah, now the hand's just over. There's no entry to the West hand to cash the 3rd diamond. Oh, but it doesn't matter. The spades don't run. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I was looking at the wrong thing. I thought Declare was going to have a bunch of spade winners to pitch their diamond. It looks like it's all fine, but this ended up getting to a little bit of a scary position. Because now if the spades happen to be 3-3, Declare would have the rest of the tricks. So spade to the queen, jack of spades, and East does score the last trick with the 10 of spades. 2 hearts down 1. I mean, a plus score has to be good, but if 3 clubs was making, East-West would have preferred to play there for the board match result. So that was the last board in that room. They finished well ahead of schedule, 7.5 minutes left on the clock. Let's check in on the other table to see where things land in the same matchup. 4 or more spades for the negative double from East. I think a pretty popular treatment is to play this as 4 or 5 spades for the negative double. And as mentioned, a lot of players will be playing transfers over these one of a major double auctions all the time. So 2 diamonds would show the limit raise in hearts from South. 2 hearts by North. Passes back around to West. I think we'll probably see the same decision from West in this room as we did at the other table, which is going to be to pass out 2 hearts. So again, East-West open a natural club in third seat, and for that reason, I think it is, once again, fairly important for East to just lead a club at trick 1. Good lead by East, the 2 clubs, fourth best. Declare also calls for the club queen at trick 1, covered by the king. And he wins the ace. Starts the heart suit by leading low towards the king. The jack pops up. The king's going to hold. And now what? Yeah, big question. If you lead a heart, first off, is West going to split? I think that might be an important play to make. Single dummy or double dummy, but it might not be that important to make single dummy because that jack of hearts could be jack 10 doubleton, jack 10 third, like jack 10 9 third even. You really have to decide how you feel about your opponents. Would they always play their lowest trump in this spot? In which case, if you lead a low heart and West follows with the 7, you could make the big boy play of sticking in the 8, and that would work out here. But most of the time, your opponents are probably going to have, especially strong expert opponents, will have a whole variety of heart holdings for playing that jack on the first round of the suit. But it looks like North is thinking it over, and this is... This is a big decision, because I don't think West here is going to make the error of cashing a 4th round of hearts to put pressure on their partner. I think West is just going to switch to diamonds when they get in. That king, queen, third of diamonds, especially if East pitches an encouraging diamond at some point. I see East is chatting. I'm hesitant to turn on the table sounds. I know we had some problems with that in the past, a little bit of background noise, but it could be that North and East are, well, one of them is asking questions about something on the hand. I mean, North is obviously thinking about playing a heart to the 8, but this is, I think that's a very big play to make. And I would probably go as far as to say that that's the wrong play to make. But we'll see. I mean, maybe West makes the point moot and does split their heart honors, right? Low heart. If West splits, I think the idea is that... so Declare wins, but then to pick off the remaining 10-7 of hearts, Declare will need to cross in spades. They can play a spade to the king and ace. But now West can play 3 rounds of diamonds to East. East can cash the jack of clubs and then play a 4th round of diamonds. And West can pitch their spade loser. And wherever Declare roughs that trick, they're going to end up getting a spade roughed, or they won't be able to take a trump finesse. So West already worked this hand out. Decided that he was playing the 7 of hearts when a heart got led from dummy. So a technical double dummy mistake, but I think in a practical sense, this is just not a thing you worry about as a bridge player. I think West did everything right on this hand, and sometimes as North you get a read here, but it is a pretty big position to take this kind of deep finesse. It does look like there's some sort of conversation going on between North and East based on East talking. Yeah, okay, North plays the ace of hearts. I mean, East pitches diamond, and now Declare can play on spades, similar to what happened in the other room. But these are the sorts of things that I think this sort of environment kind of prevents us from happening, because we sat here for 5 minutes waiting for North to make a decision about whether to stick in the 8 of hearts or not. And you shouldn't be spending 5 minutes on making a play in this short of a time control. So I do wonder if there are penalties being assessed. I don't know. I saw some fractions of points being awarded. But I think if you're going to have these round clocks, then it's probably important to enforce them in some way. Hopefully that's being done behind the scenes. There's 2 tables still in play. Let's head over to Beachy on the very last board. Looks like they have a minute to finish the play of this deal. These are currently our tournament leaders, but everything can change in this last round. We did see a lot of the second place matchup between BridgeChamp and New Amateurs. I think there were a couple of pushes in that match that we were able to catch. Specifically, this very last board, we saw both tables get to 2 hearts and go down 1. The 10 of spades opening lead. Okay. So this is going to make things a little bit more difficult for the defenders. I think Declare is actually cold double dummy at this point. You know, we could check, right? We could check the analysis. Ooh, apparently not. Apparently Declare is not... Oh, West could force Declare to use the spade entry early by playing a second round of spades. This might not happen, though. Yeah, the Jack of Clubs comes. And now Declare technically can make the contract if they do decide to take that deep finesse in the heart suit. But a club comes through. I guess we'll never know. I have no idea how these boards get scored. But moving into the last round, we do see Beachy is up in first place. New Amateurs has moved into second with a small victory over BridgeChamp in that last matchup by a couple of points. BridgeChamp's in third, and the rest of the teams towards the bottom of the standings. So Beachy versus New Amateurs, the 1 versus 2 teams going into the last matchup. Let's hop on in to the first board of play. I know we've been seeing a lot of Dubois playing, but he's a star for a reason. South opens a spade. West decides not to come in. I mean, it's a 10 count, but a little bit of spade shortness and 4 hearts. So North, in the American style of bidding, this is not going to be a 2-no trump bid. North is just going to bid 2 spades, I think, with this hand. 10 high card points, but the singleton king is quite poor. No aces, only 3 card spade support. I know that he does like to be aggressive. Ooh, okay. So we get a little bit of a different bid. 2 hearts is an invite with spades. That's a cute way to play this. I mean, staying at the 2 level, it obviously takes away your ability to make a 2/1 game forcing bid in the heart suit itself. So I wonder how they deal with that problem. But 2 spades by South. South has opened an 11 count, 5-3-3-2. And East does balance in with 3 diamonds. I like this 3 diamond bid a lot more than I liked some of the previous 3 diamond balances that we saw in the day. This time, East has a long diamond suit. East is also a little bit better in the way of high card points as well as distribution, having the singleton instead of being 7-2-2-2. 3 small spades is not great from East's perspective, but I think at this stage, you definitely want to compete for the part score, especially at this Patton form of scoring. So 3 diamonds passes around to north, and tricky spot. I mean, I might be tempted by double. You have a maximum in terms of high card points for 2 heart. Well, you've already showed this invitational hand, right? With 2 hearts, so maybe as north you just let this go. I'm not sure. Like, competing to 3 spades feels really bad when now your king of diamonds is definitely a worthless card. The singleton is nice, but you have basically a good 7 count. So north does just pass out 3 diamonds. And I think east is going to be pretty happy with that, not getting doubled. South on lead. I mean, I could see almost any lead from the south hand. Yeah, the king of hearts, I was going to say, does feel somewhat attractive, even though that's going to work out very poorly on this hand. That blows a heart trick immediately. The defense might score a diamond, as well as 3 spades from here, but that's still going to be enough tricks for Declare. He's got a club, 2 hearts, and at least 6 diamonds. Yeah, and in fact, he is just going to take the diamond finesse himself. So, diamond to the jack and king. Spade switch. And south is going to have a choice of whether to force dummy by playing 2 more rounds of spades and score the 10 of diamonds, or whether to play back a trump and then score 2 more spades. I think we'll probably see south just play back a trump here. There's no rush. South could play a heart, hoping that partner has the heart queen instead of east. And then south might get both. A spade, a heart, and the 10 of diamonds. Yeah, so I like this play. 10 of hearts comes back around to the queen. And now declares once again in this bind of, do I continue pulling trumps, or do I try and ruff a spade? So Declare continues pulling trumps, club ruff, pulls the last trump, and 3 diamonds is going to make 3. So pretty big result, I would say, for East-West, for Team Beachy here. Not only did they get to 3 diamonds, they didn't get doubled, and then the opening king of hearts lead ended up costing the contract. The analysis tool is not going to show that, but that's because Declare could technically rabbi the singleton king of diamonds. Let's check in on the other room. Oh, this was the room we were just in. Yeah, let's check in on the other room to see where things have ended up. Oh my. Wow. So auction-wise, it went a spade 2 no trump by north. Absolutely insane. Everyone's buying into these bad 10 counts to bid 2 no trump as a 3 or 4 card limit raise. And that caused East to balance 4 diamonds. So yeah, excellent start for Team Beachy. It looks like they might hold on to first place, and if New Amateurs ends up losing this match by a bit, BridgeChamp might overtake them for second. So they could slip to third place, but we'll stick with this matchup for now among our leaders. Pass by West. 12 count from North. Do they open a club or a diamond with this hand? We'll find out. This is one of the main reasons why one of the main reasons why webcams shouldn't be required at the bridge table. But I was going to say, this is one of the main reasons why people are drifting away from these one diamond opening bids, is into one club. I mean, not only because of all the benefits you get from playing transfers over a club, to have the strong hand right-sided, as well as to be able to bid your 18 to 19 balanced hands at the one level, but you really don't want to be opening a diamond on 3 small, do you? It only comes up about 3% of the time. But that 3% of the time, I mean, it feels terrible when you open a diamond and your partner's like, I got a diamond fit in a weekend, 3 diamonds. The opponent's never had a major suit anyway because you're 4-4 in the majors, and you just preempt your side way too high in a bad fit. So club pass a spade. No alert by South, but it should be. I think South is probably going to put in the explanation, hopefully after the bid has come through. I don't know how familiar some of these players are with the BridgeChamp interface, because for a lot of them, this might be their first time playing on the site. But I would expect South to be alerting 1 spade. Obviously, it denies a major. Hopefully East-West know that. Maybe there was some announcement before the round started, hey, we're playing short clubs and transfers over it, but it's still courteous to alert all of your bids. A club, a spade. So we should see a no trump from North. I do feel like a lot of players are quite distracted, although I also see the tournament director at the table, so I'm not sure what exactly is going on. Maybe there was a little bit of discussion about a previous board. Okay, there we go. Alert by South. No major suit for 1 spade. 1 no trump by North. We are back into the play. East staying quiet, a decision I really like. East could have bid 2 clubs over a no trump here. I mean, East might have been able to bid 2 clubs natural over 1 club. That's a pretty popular treatment. These could be short clubs, but with no shape, no 6-card suit, happy for East to stay out. 10 of clubs lead. Looks like a pretty good start for the defense. East is going to knock out the defense's, or North-South's club stopper and set up 4 club tricks of his own. So Declarer has got 4 spades, with the spades coming home, this club, and a heart. Gets him up to 6 tricks. He's got to decide whether to try and play, for example, a diamond to the ace, or a diamond to the king, play for the ace of diamonds on side, or try heart to the queen, play for the heart king on side. I mean, it's basically just a guess which red suit finesse to take. Diamonds is... I wouldn't even say that diamonds is a little bit safer, because if you play a diamond to the king and it loses, you're setting up 3 diamond tricks for the defense, or 2 extra diamond tricks for the defense that they might not otherwise have gotten. So yeah, tough position for North. Obviously East with 4 clubs and the ace of diamonds has 5 tricks in, but if Declared does guess correctly, then he'll end up scoring a 7th trick before the defense gets their 7. So this club exit, I was going to mention it a little bit, but I think this is a pretty poor play. It's going to work out okay here as long as Declare is careful. He'll need to duck 1 round of hearts and win the 2nd round before leading a diamond up to the king. But the problem is, if the defense had their hearts split 4-3 instead of 5-2, then this Jack of Hearts switch would just defeat the contract when the diamond ace was on side. So I guess it's possible that Declare was just hoping the King of Hearts was onside, and this was just their way of trying to take the heart finesse rather than leading up to the queen themselves. Oh, Declare wins the Ace of Hearts. So East-West heart suits is blocked. Declare can run all of the spades and still lead a diamond up to the king. This might still come out okay, but man, this is a scary spot for Declare. So spade pitching a diamond, but West pitches all of his hearts, so... Oh, and Declare exits a heart even, so West actually gets end played into leading a diamond into the king 10. Okay, great result for North-South once again. They stop low and end up making their contract into no trump. It does look like Team Beachy is well on their way to winning the third OCBL Patton. One hand to go. Let's quickly take a look at the other room. Yeah, they've just started play of the last board, so we'll swap back. Whoops, this is not the other room. I'm not doing a very good job. Oh my, there's been a lot of action at the other table, but I guess we'll stick with this room because once again, this is our leaders, 2 leaders in the last round. North opens a no trump, strong. No high card count alert on that play just yet. 2 spades, spades and a minor. 5-5, favorable. Might not be everyone's choice on the East cards, but East decides to stick their neck out. And how is this going to work out for them? Because South will make a negative double, and this could easily go all pass. I mean, 2 spades doubled could be in a world of trouble. Like, personally, I think pass by North is the only really sensible bid over this negative double. You have a minimum hand. So if your partner has an invitational hand, you aren't going to be bidding a game. And going after the opponents in 2 spades could pay huge dividends. And if your partner does have a game force, then you might still not make a game contract because suits could split badly. You only have 1 spade stopper. You don't know which minor suit East has, and if it's clubs, that's not good for you. If it's diamonds, that's probably also not good for you. Your hand just doesn't have a ton of tricks. So going after a penalty and trying to go plus on defense feels like a pretty big possibility. Now, as is, they do end up in 3 no trump. And how's this contract going to do? With the spade opening lead, Declare has 2 spade tricks. They're going to take 3 club tricks. 3 diamonds. And a heart. Looks like there's 9 off the top. So the fight probably was going to be for an extra diamond trick if possible. I mean, maybe West gets squeezed in the red suits. Well, Declare is not interested in any over tricks. Declare is just trying to cash out and make their contract. Declare could have ducked that spade to isolate the spade suit in East's hand and then cash a couple of clubs and eventually throw West in to lead away from the Jack of Diamonds or lead away from the King, Queen of Hearts. But now West is just happy to hold on to the King, Queen of Hearts. So last board, but probably a victory celebration for Team Beachy anyway. They were well ahead going into the set. And even though they didn't take the maximum number of tricks on this one, they still do go plus in their game contract. They're going to be pretty thrilled about that. we could see a lot of scores on this board all over the place. I mean, 2 spades doubled going for a number. 3 no trump making 10 or 11 tricks, I think are all possible. All right, that was the last board of that room. Let's check in on Team BridgeChamp. They still have a couple of tricks to play. So here's the exact ending I was thinking of. Now North can lead the Jack of Hearts to the ace, and then exit the 9 of Hearts to West, who's going to be end played into leading into the ace 10 of diamonds. We just caught the tail end of this play. Very nice by North. So this is going to be worth an over trick, and looks like Team BridgeChamp is going to end up moving up into second place. So a few tables still playing. Do we have the results? It looks like things are pretty set in stone here. Team Beachy up in first, BridgeChamp up in second, New Amateurs in third, and Balzac up there in fourth. They barely did not manage to make it into the podium positions. But well done to everyone who played. Congratulations. We'll, I guess, check in for the last couple of tricks on this table before signing off. Hopefully everyone enjoyed the show. And congrats to all the players. You all did great. Thanks for putting on the performance for us. I do see one of our players is showing up in chat to say hello. Jack of spades to the ace. Declare looks like they're about to just start cashing out. So at this table, it seems that Declare has gone a little bit astray and is going to go down in 3 no trump. They have 2 clubs and the ace of hearts, but that queen of spades never took a trick. So there almost would have been a squeeze against West. If West had the king of spades here, West would be getting squeezed, kind of similar to what we saw at the other table. But in this scenario, yeah, the Jack of Hearts gets led, but West has the king of hearts. So East-West are going to take the last 2 tricks on this one. Oh, or it's going to go even worse. The Jack of Hearts runs around, and now 10 of spades overtaken. So East gets the last 2. 3 no trump goes down 2. This might be the last table in play, and we'll get a final look at the standings. But once again, congrats to Team Beachy. I think this might have been their first time playing in the event. And they pick up the gold medal. BridgeChamp in second, New Amateurs in third. But those last couple of rounds were really decisive, with Beachy having a big victory over New Amateurs, and BridgeChamp, of course, pulling out their win up against their opponents in the final set. So thanks for tuning in, y'all. We will be back for another OCBL Patton in probably another month and a half or so. So if you enjoyed, make sure to leave a like on the stream, drop a comment in the chat, or say hi. And hopefully everyone had a great time. I'm signing off, so hopefully you enjoyed, and we'll be back in the future for more OCBL events on BridgeChamp.